Hello everybody, welcome to the wonderful world of PHP tutorial number 23. It's really awesome, I know. Let's get started. So in the last video we talked about the while loop. Well, in this video I wanted to talk about a new type of loop called a do while loop. Very similar. So if you understood the while loop, this will be super easy. Let's do a quick review of the while loop. Basically, we could do something like set a variable. Let's make it variable I is equal to 0, right? And then we could say while variable I is greater than 0, we could say echo yo. And then let's make it something even better. Subscribe. Alright, and then we could close the while loop. Makes sense? So basically it's going to say, oh, when I is greater than 0, we're going to echo subscribe. But as you can see, I is not greater than 0, so it's never going to be ran. Although if this was like 2, well then this while loop's going to run over and over and over and over again. So let's go back to 0, and then I'm going to explain the difference between a do while loop and a while loop. Well, with this while loop, it's going to test something, and if it's true, it's going to do something. And then it's going to test something, and then it's going to do something, and then it's going to test something, and then it's going to do something. Well, a do while loop flips that, and they do something, and then they test something. They do something, and then they test something. So, a do while loop looks like this. You say do, and then within these curly braces, we could say echo yo. And we could define a variable. So the variable I is equal to 0. Now, this is what we're going to do. Do echo yo. While, and then within parentheses, we could say while variable I is greater than 0. Alright, so how is this different at all? Alright, well, the main thing is that the do is the what we're doing. The while is what we're testing. In a while loop, we test it and then we do it. In a do loop, we're going to do it and then we're going to test it. So if this was ran, it's going to echo yo. That's the very first thing it's going to do. And then it's going to test if I is greater than 0, and it's not. So therefore, it's going to end and keep going within the program. But if it is, it's going to go back up to the do. It's going to do what we told it to do, and then it's going to test it again. So the main thing is that with a do while loop, it will always be executed at least once. Because if we're running through this, it says do. This is what it's going to do. Before it even tests anything, it's going to echo yo. And if I is greater than 0, it's going to echo yo again. Does that make sense? Hopefully so. I don't even know why I ask you questions like you're going to respond or something. That's weird. It's like Dora the Explorer or something. Gosh. Oh, you think it's weird too? Me too. But yeah, those are the main differences. So just to summarize that, I'm going to make a little chart here. We have a while loop, and then we have a do while loop. While loop will test it, and then it will run it. A do while loop will run it, and then it will test it. This outcome means that a do while loop always runs at least once. And the reason for that is, let's say it turns out false, but that's not going to be tested until we run it. So going through a program, it's going to go, oh, they want us to run this program, or run what we do within the loop, and then test it. The testing comes after we do it. So I know I've repeated that like 80 times. Well, basically, when you want something to always be executed at least once, use a do while. If you only want it to be executed if the conditions or the test is successful, basically if it's true, then we'll move on to the run. And then after that, we'll go back to the test. If it's true, then we'll go to the run. Back to the test, true, then to the run. Back to the test, oh, it's false. Well, then we're going to skip the run and just go on with the program. So that's the basis of a do-while loop and a while loop. Hopefully that clears things up with both types of loops. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. I don't know what I'm doing.